Occasionally we need to stake and tie a tree. If it can't support its own weight, if it can't carry its own canopy, we have to give it a little assistance sometimes at the beginning. This tree has been staked for a few years and was thought to be established, but a few windstorms loosened it up. So now she's laying over at about a 40-degree angle here. We want to bring it back up, get it started nice and straight, and give the tree more time to establish good anchorage. We don't want to prune the canopy too much because we don't want to take away the vascular power of all those leaves. We'd rather stake and tie the tree instead of pruning it into uprightness, if you will. We could utilize our small epicormic shoots up above and grow new canopy in the northern direction, but the tree is still young enough and limber enough that staking and tying and righting by this method is still appropriate. A brace would not be appropriate because the tree is going to move a lot, and a brace doesn't allow a lot of trunk movement. A tie does. We're going to use a cushioned wrap around the trunk where we place our ties. Hopefully we won't have to have this support for more than a year, year and a half at the most. We've chosen our tie location according to the structure of the tree. We have the tree going into a co-dominant lead right here. It's a nice open crotch, a good structural form, but again, we wouldn't want to put our tie above the crotch and possibly peel this open. So our ties will be below the fork. We'll come in about here, above this lateral branch, so the tie can't slide down the trunk. We're going to cushion it, we're going to pad it because we don't want to damage bark. The fig does have a delicate bark and we don't want to harm the bark. We put our stakes well back from the trunk because we don't want to pound our stakes through the root system. The possibility of driving a stake through and picking up or damaging or cutting a big root crown anchorage root would be counterproductive. We'd end up harming the tree. So we're going way back on the bank there for our two stakes. We're going to split the load between the two stakes, and then this will give us a triangulation so the tree cannot lay away from prevailing winds, which normally come in this region from the north. So we're going to bring her up in stages. We'll probably do it in two pulls. So we'll pull it part way up, we'll water in real well and soften the soil, and then maybe in a few days we'll give it an additional pull and bring it the rest of the way up. For the determination of the placement of the stakes, here's a simple method you can utilize. By pushing on the trunk and righting the tree up, we can actually determine what angle of support the tree requires to be righted. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm just pushing with one arm and just leaning into it to the upright and balanced position, and then I'm bisecting that angle with two stakes. So one stake out there and one stake out there. We're just going to bisect that angle and place our two stakes appropriately so they'll be tangent to the delivered load. To get it all the way up, it might require something like 50 pounds of combined tension to support the weight of this tree. We're about 85 degrees vertical. It's pretty nicely straightened up.